These plays are going to make you some money on Christmas Day. We're going to go through some NFL probabilities and some NBA probabilities for Christmas Day. But first off, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. It's been a great year. We're going into the new year of 2025. Definitely, if you guys have been watching the channel, hopefully you guys have learned a bunch of stuff, a bunch of good stuff. You guys have been a part of the group. You guys have made money. Going into 2025 should be the biggest year yet. And I have some big announcements that we're going to be doing going into 2025. So definitely looking forward to that. But let's talk about today. Like I said, Merry Christmas, guys. Let's get down to today's slate. Before we do that, let's talk about Monday and Tuesday's stuff. All right. First off, yesterday we had South Florida and San Jose State to go over 61.5. Got a little help from OT right at the end of the game there. Overtime helped bump that number way over that 61.5 number. So we end up hitting that. Day before we had Dallas Mavericks -9. They ended up just crushing that number. They won by like almost 30. So that was an easy win for sure. In that same game, we had a 75% probability for Luka to go over 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists, which looked a little shaky because they were blowing him out. That, maybe he wasn't going to get full minutes, but he still didn't get full minutes, but he still ended up surpassing that number. He had 41 points, rebounds, and assists. So he was able to get it done on short time. Then we went to the Green Bay Packers where we had Romeo Dubes, however you want to say his name. He had an 82% probability to go over 24.5 receiving yards. So this number dropped to 20 about an hour before the game. So some people were able to get 20, but majority probably got 24.5, and we ended up getting burned on 24.5 by 5 yards. He had 20 yards. So those that had 20 ended up winning, but those that had 24.5 ended up losing, coming up short by 5 yards. Then we went to Nikola Jokic, the Joker. He had an 87% probability to go over 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He was on track. He was looking good, but then guess what? The Nuggets absolutely blew out the Phoenix Suns. So he did not play the fourth quarter whatsoever and fell short of that number. And he actually didn't fall short too much. He had like 41. If he would have just played a couple more minutes, he probably would have been able to surpass that number of 44.5. But overall, still pretty decent for the last couple days. So we're going to keep moving along here on Christmas Day. Let's talk about the F-bombs. The F-bombs are 32-8 now in the last 28 days. Guys, if you're a part of the program, you're part of the gold membership, you guys are killing it. So make sure you guys are throwing that down in the comments, letting everybody know what the real ones are doing over here. All right. Also, there is a 50% off holiday special that I have going on right now as you're watching this video. It's only going to last a couple days. All right. All you have to do is comment 50. If you comment 50 down below, I will send you the link for that 50% off promo for the F-bombs. So that way, going into 2025, it could be your most profitable year yet sports betting, which I guarantee that for you. As long as you follow along and you don't go into your bad habits and start betting stuff that you don't need to bet, you will be profitable in 2025. There is no doubt about it. So if you guys want that, make sure you guys comment 50 down below, and I will send you that link in the comment section. Now let's go ahead and get to everybody's favorite part because this is the last one. All right. $1,000 giveaway, cash. This is the last one of the year that we're going to give away. So what do you got to do? You guys know what you got to do. If you've been watching the channel, you got to comment GOAT and you got to be subscribed. So make sure you guys are doing what you need to do to be part of that drawing. And like I said, this is the last one of the year. So might be 1,000, might be a little bit more. Depends on how we do in these next couple of days. All right. But comment GOAT down below and you will be entered. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Let's talk about today's slate. First, we're going to talk about in the NFL, CJ Stroud. He's got a 66% probability to go over 219.5 passing yards. He's going against the second worst pass defense in the league. We know all year the Ravens' pass defense has been absolutely terrible. So he should be able to air it out a bit here. Now, he doesn't have Tank Dell, obviously, which hasn't really hurt him too much this year when Tank Dell isn't playing. All right, so to be honest with you, it's not that big of a hit, and we have the probability with us, and we got pretty much the matchup that we want. It's just the only issue is on the road, CJ Stroud underperforms compared to what he does at home. So that is the only downside for CJ Stroud is on the road, he only averages about 205 passing yards, which at home, he averages like 260 or something like that, something close to that. So that's the only downside really when it comes to this play here. But we do have the probability, which is decent, and we do have the matchup that we want. So we can give him a shot here. And again, I'm going to get comments all over asking, where do you find these lines at? I have 240.5 or something like that. It's an alternate line, guys. Alternate line. You can find these at FanDuel, DraftKings, all your major sports books. You can find these alternate lines at. All right. All you have to do is go under alternate props, under alternate player props, and you'll be able to find those lines. Now let's go ahead and get to the next one here. We got Paul George. Paul George has a 69% probability to go under 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's going against the fourth best team at guarding his position. So this is the first time we've had anything about Paul George pretty much on the show so far this year. We haven't talked about Paul George whatsoever. All right, but he has the probability there. The number is not high, I'd say, for an under. It's not crazy high. 30.5, like, you could have a mediocre game and still be able to do that. As if his shot is going down, then we might be in trouble with this. But he does have a decent matchup where the matchup could cause some resistance. And also, Maxi's playing, and along with Joel Embiid, they're going to take some of that usage away from Paul George as well. So, not too bad. All right, we got the matchup, we got the probability. The number is just not as high as I'd like for an under. But it is what it is. If you want to roll the dice on that, this is something to roll the dice on. All right. Like I said, guys, if you guys want the F-bombs and you want 50% off of that, make sure you guys comment 50 down below, because just today we have like 2 or 3 of them. All right. And then going into the new year, they are going to be loaded in every major sport. So make sure you guys are part of that group if you want to win. If you don't want to win, then disregard everything that I said and go put in your parlays. Guarantee you that's not going to work out for you. All right, well, let's go through them one more time. CJ Stroud, over 219.5 passing yards. He has a 66% probability to do so. He has the matchup. He has the probability. The only thing holding him back is on the road. He is not that good as he is at home. All right, but we'll see what happens today. It's Christmas Day. Maybe a Christmas miracle for CJ Stroud, and he throws for 300 plus. We'll see what happens there. And then Paul George, we got the probability. We got the matchup. The under number isn't as high as I'd like for an under, but it is what it is. We'll roll the dice and let's see what Paul George can do. Hopefully he can go out there and do absolutely nothing. All right. Hopefully Embiid and Maxey take all the usage and George just sits there and doesn't do much. All right, guys. As always, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next show. Till then, I'm out.